Hey guys, so welcome back to the Kawasaki ZR-7S series that I have. I just wanted to give you a little update on the bike, where things have been since the last episode. Something's missing. Can you see what it is? Okay, I'm going to have you stop now. I don't want to make you keep going because it might get a little exhausting. The exhaust is gone. At least from the end of the downpipe to the muffler tip. If you saw in previous videos, there's actually a silicone hose connecting the exhaust, the two halves of the exhaust together. The reason for that was because when I bought the bike, it came exactly like this with the exhaust actually cut down the middle. On this stock bike, it went all the way up here to a bracket that bolted onto the muffler, but the previous owner, for whatever reason, decided to cut it off right there. I don't know. So I actually went on eBay and bought an exhaust for this bike, or at least I thought I did. The bike on the listing said Kawasaki 2006 Z750, and I thought, oh, it's a Kawasaki 4-cylinder 750cc, it's going to be the same bike. It even had ZR-7S in the listing title, so I thought it would fit. That was the exhaust for a liquid-cooled 4-cylinder engine and didn't fit my bike. There was a different bolt pattern for the actual headers, and so what I did was I managed to cut the end of that exhaust short and get the silicone coupling and put them together. And that worked fine. I ran it that way for about 8 months. I've only had the bike for 8 months, so I ran it that way since I got it running. And it was never a problem. But when I took the exhaust off to do the frame straightening in the last video, and I put it back on, I didn't slip it on all the way. When I was riding, the silicone hose slipped off and the exhaust leaned downward onto the road and was grinding. But it happened right at a moment where I was riding over one of the expansion joints in the concrete slabs, and so I was right in there in the gap and just flew off the back of the bike as I was going forward. It actually fractured the bracket right there. So the easy solution for this problem would just be get a new bracket and bolt the exhaust back on and make sure the silicone hose is clamped tightly, except for the fact that my exhaust fell through a wormhole and was never seen again. I circled back 3 or 4 times looking for it. I couldn't find it. I parked my bike in the median, walked around in the road, could not find it. I have no idea where it went. It's going to be a mystery until I die. So the plan to fix it is to actually do something a little bit differently that's never been done before, at least on this bike. And I will show that in a later video. I won't give away the details right now, but hopefully that's something to look forward to. And speaking of the frame straightening video that caused this problem in the first place, I want to talk about that a little bit. Mainly about how I didn't do it correctly. I don't know if it's that easy to tell on camera, but it's easy to see in person. But basically, these two frame rails are running straight parallel to each other, but the cross brace is a little bit diagonal. It's sloping down this direction, and I'll explain why. So the reason that all the cross braces are diagonal was because when it was originally bent during the accident that the previous owner caused, the two frame rails act like a rhombus where they shifted to the side, but the top and the mid ones were still parallel to the bike. And what I did was actually notch off a section right here and bend it this way, which caused the rails to be diagonal like they are now. And that really isn't an issue. It's not so much a problem, more as it's not how it was from the factory, but it's still very structural. It's just not how it should be. And I could fix this by cutting them off of the joint and re-welding them so they're parallel with the bike again, but I don't know if I'm going to do that since it's not really necessary. What I could possibly do also is buy just a frame off eBay. I've seen them go for like $70 and just cut the end off and weld it on so it's actually properly aligned how it should be, but again, I don't know if I'm going to do that because it's still structural, it's still fine, it's just not how it's supposed to be shaped. But it's still safe, that's all that really matters. So, that's going to be it for this episode, just a little update on how things were, and I will do the gas tank video in the future. I have that ready to go. I have a gas tank ready to put in, and I don't know if that'll be the next video or not, but it will come soon, so stay tuned.